I don't know why that's a surprise. My team's been the fastest on the trail from Anchorage all the way to the wrong turn. We went fast on the wrong turn, and then we slowed down at the end of that because we went an extra 10 miles through some really soft, punchy, weird stuff looking for a trail. So who's surprised that I'm fast?
You were just faster than the musher before you, so people weren't totally out as early as they thought they had to be.
Yeah, probably faster than what's coming too.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fast dog team. All I did at safety is say, home, 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 and they went full bore.
So you've got 12 dogs that have been to Nome before. You said that before the race?
Well, there's 10 dogs here.
12 you started with, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. I guess, how did that experience come in handy, and when did you rely on that experience?
Sullivan. That's a place that can be tough on a dog team. After you head towards city lights, they're like, oh, it's a checkpoint. And no, it's not. And then you gotta go back on the sea ice or whatever that thing is. And it can be pretty challenging for a dog team. Lots of dog teams have put their tails up and butts on the ground right there. So the past couple of years I've been training my dog team to win this race by just stopping at the right time and showing them we're going to White Mountain, or don't even think about this place. And I talk to them. They know, don't get excited, we're not stopping. That means it may look like a checkpoint. Maybe it is a checkpoint, but we're not going to be there long. We're going to continue. And they know a lot of commands like that because I base my training on communication and patience with them, and for them to learn patience themselves.
How did you communicate with the team after you got turned around on that trail going up to Koyuk, and how do you manage the sort of mental state of the team at that point?
Shut up. Say good dogs. That's about it. Yeah. And the more you talk, the more you fry their brains. So try to not talk too much. But then when I start talking, it's like good dog and stuff like that, and G and Ha. So there was a lot of G and Ha when I was looking for the trail and backtracking. And I heard about open water before the race, and I wasn't gonna go seek the trail out too far to the west. So I looked to the west a little bit, didn't see anything, went east, figured maybe I'll find that overland trail they talked about. I got to the place on the GPS, it says there's a trail, but I did loops and there's no trail where there's a trail on the GPS. So then I turned them around, G'd them around, and hotted them around, and went back where not the same path, but same direction I came from, just still looking for a trail. Eventually I saw a trail marker, got on that trail, and this is how few trail markers there were. I get back on that trail. On one side, I see a trail marker way out there. On the other side, you don't see one. You probably should be able to see a couple trail markers as you're going across a known blowing piece of ice. So, par for the course, I guess.
How do you manage your own mental state when it's at that stage in the race? There's not a lot of sleep at that point. How do you manage yourself?
I sleep more than most of the rushers. The long runs I do mean longer rests too at checkpoints, and then the little camps on the river. I slept a good hour at each little camp on the river, just sleeping with the leaders, and I don't. My dogs do the work of moving forward, so I'm not physically sore like others maybe. I don't change my runner plastic. It's the same stuff we started with. I send out extra just in case I need to, but that's a lot of work that I don't really like to waste my time and energy with. So it makes for a more rested musher. and I let the dogs do the work on the trail. So I help once in a while. Just might get bored or cold, but that's about it.
Are there any standout dogs that really pleasantly surprised you this race?
The 10 that are here. The yearling that I dropped at White Mountain, I didn't drop her because she was tired or sore, but one of her older siblings wanted to steal her food, and she didn't put up with that, but she's the one I ended up with a little bite wound on her foot. She probably would have made it all the way here, but she made it to White Mountain as a little yearling, and her brother's over here, and that's Joey and Pam, and that's pretty amazing for such young dogs to roll for 1,000 miles, you know, so really promising for that. So yeah, there's a standout thing there. And of course, Libby in lead all by herself, taking care of business, and I mean, I could list them all.
What did you say to Libby at the finish there when you kind of sat down and gave her some love?
Probably, good girl, and I love you, little girl, or, you know, stuff like that. That's all I say to my dogs. Well, I'm not sure what I said.
How do you feel about the race overall? You're in Nome now, trail's behind you. When you reflect back, how do you feel about the race you and your team did?
Good luck keeping up. My dog team's proving that we have to have a major problem in order to not get to a finish line first. So, no, it's an awesome team, and looking forward to doing it next year again. Hey, we keep improving every year, so there's still room for improvement.
When will you begin training for the next race for 2019?
On the couch when we get home.
Very good.
And around here, I take him out mushing to the Gold Dredge, and I take him mushing through the little forest on the sea ice. And then I walk him, all of them get to walk through that finish line multiple times while we're here. Pet it at the finish line, and we talk about finish line, home. And then when I'm on the way from safety to Nome, I just remind them about the finish line and the Gold Dredges and all that. And I talk to my dogs like they're little kids, so or young adults really. So they know what we're about to do. The only thing they don't know is in training, they don't have a clue whether I'm going to go 5 miles or 100, because I never know. I'm just, okay, I'm cold, let's go home. And they don't know when we're going to leave, because I'm never ready on time, because I don't have a watch. So, yeah.
Do you find that their moods or temperaments depend on each other or are contagious? If some of them are kind of feeling slow or lazy for the day, are they all pretty independent, or do they tend to have kind of a pack mentality?
They're really independently similar.
Yeah. Okay. That's as good as you can answer that, I guess.
How are you feeling right now, Nick? How did you feel? What was going through your head when you were coming down Front Street this year?
Police escort school. I've been here before where nobody there because I'm too early and nobody ready to have me come in. There's nice snow on the road, nice fast end of the trail, you know, so they didn't have to slow down to get to the finish line. I like to roll into checkpoints full speed ahead, then come to a complete stop. So it was kind of like that coming in here. Of course, people clapping and stuff. That's cool for them. They like commotion.
Back in Anvik, you were the first to really get your 8-hour Yukon Rest out of the way. How did you come to that decision to spend those 8 hours in Anvik and maybe avoid some of the troubles that other mushers had with Eagle Island?
Well, There's a nice dinner there.
That's a good motivation.
And a little extra 20-mile push or whatever that is from going through Shagluk isn't a big deal. I knew it was going to make me run in the heat of the day at some point, but it would set me up to do a short run in the heat of the day, come to Grayling, we'll give him some water, load up the sled with enough supplies to go 120 miles, and then have a lot of nighttime running then. So that was, I figure if I'm gonna run in the sun, and there's a checkpoint, well, maybe I'll run in the sun and give him a break right in the middle of the checkpoint and then go back out again. And then the other thing it did is those guys ended up getting on that long run after I got on it, so I got to see what they were working with, what, you know, how they, I'd already seen Mitch's dogs, and gave me a little bit of confidence about our upcoming performance. Not to say anything derogatory about Mitch's dog team, but a bunch of tails in the air. So, and not as, my dog team's very smooth, and like they don't, when we go fast, they're like this, but 9-10 miles an hour, they're just really smooth and flat and don't really use that much energy. And a dog team that's that doesn't trot that well is gonna use more energy. And so I could tell that I had a more efficient dog team than Mitch did. And yours, I hadn't seen yet, but yeah, I hadn't seen it yet. So I camped on the river, and one of them went by while I was sleeping, and then here comes yours. And I got on right after he went. And usually dogs, you know, they wake up, and then you move slow, and then they pick up speed. And that's how they did it, my dogs. But while we were moving slow, we caught up to Yor. Then we started picking up speed, and we flew by an inch. So I thought, you know, I think I've got the dog team that's gonna win if I do everything right.
You know, Mitch always talks about having a really strict speed limit and enforcing the speed limit, but I mean, it sounds like you're a little bit more free with letting the dog sometimes give you feedback on speed. How do you make the decision on exactly how fast to go?
Well, instead of holding them back and then making them pull extra resistance that they don't need to, I'm the guy that does the long runs earlier in the race. And that's to calm them down so that they're not putting out more energy than we need to travel with at a speed that's reasonable. And then if they want to roll and the trail's suitable, then let them go. So instead of conserving energy by wasting it on the drag, I conserve energy by going a long ways and getting them calm. And then we can go, that's just no break, just go at a good speed. It's easier on them, I think.
What's next for you right now? What are you gonna do?
Maybe I have a beer. And then go back to the dogs and hang out with them, take a nap, have another beer, go back to the dogs, do my laps.